Once again, another great episode coming at you from Cedar Park. Javier in the Air. So today's adventure is going to be about um, gardening. A great interview with Elisa from Salon Vibe. Finally got someone who'd be able to sit down and talk to me about their business and what it takes to be in that business and all that. Plus, we also have some items about beer. We have a couple of shots from, or a couple of pictures from St. Patrick's Day on what I did. Wasn't much, but we wanted to have a photo in there as well. Plus a great Belgian beer tasting that both Robert and I participated in. I was trying to see if I could get the video in time for this podcast, but I wasn't able to, and that's okay. So it's jam-packed, full of stuff. Sit back, relax. Let's go ahead and go to Gardening Hav and see what we have. Hey, thanks Podcast Hav. So this is Farmer Jav here, and we're working on a raised garden bed. So I have decided to take on the job of being a veggie and fruit grower and exchanging the fruits and vegetables with friends and family and neighbors who also have their own gardens. So I'm going to be growing something different than my neighbors, the Pavlovskis. So but I wanted to show you, as I'm just beginning to lay stuff down, I wanted to show you. So I went ahead and splurged on the raised garden beds. This is a 4x4 garden bed that's made of vinyl material, so hard vinyl, so that way it won't ever rust, it won't rot, and I won't have to worry about that going on. This should last at least through my lifetime. So two 4x4 ones. And then what I did was, let me show you here. I used this material, where did it go? I went over here. This material right here, called weed barrier or weed stop. You can get it at your local Lowe's or Home Depot or wherever you shop on your gardening. And I put down a layer. Then I built these boxes. By the way, these were self-assembly and no tools required. So that was one of the reasons why I did it. So no tools required, put it together. It did come with some glue to put here on the seams. You put right on it and then you slide the next one on top. I will go back later on and put some like silicone to make a true seal around there so the water doesn't go out that way. I want the water to just drain through the bottom. So with the weed barrier, I put it down, I built the boxes, I put the beds, and I put the beds on there. And then I put another layer. As you can see, there's another layer of weed barrier down. And I did that for both boxes. Today, we're just going to focus on this box because I'm going to get it ready for putting in vegetables. That one's going to be fruits. So then what I did is I got some quick-rete all-purpose gravel. Which I checked to make sure that gravel is what you want to put underneath. So you put gravel underneath and it helps for draining purposes. So weed barrier, box, bed, whatever you want to call it, another weed barrier, and I put the rocks down. Now I'm going to apply some soil. So depending on what you have available, and right now it's difficult to find a lot of soil readily available. Now I know some people just buy and have someone come and put the soil out, but I couldn't find anything available for today, and I wanted to do it today because that's who I am. So I went ahead and just got this. This is flower and vegetable garden soil. This is Stay Green. It doesn't really matter the brand. Just this was what was available at my local Lowe's. And then what I also got was black cow manure. Yep, shit helps you grow. And I'm going to mix that in with the soil. So I got 10 bags of soil. Each bag was about 1 cubic foot. I went online to a soil calculator as to how much soil you need for the size of your garden, raised bed. And so this is 4x4, and then assembly puts it at about 13.5 inches. But I'm putting down about 2 inches of stuff. So I put in 10 and it came out to about 14. Actually, without putting in the 10, I put in 13 and a half. It said about 14 cubic feet, but I knew I was bringing in the barrier and the gravel and some other, and mixing in the manure with it. So I went ahead and instead of getting 14 bags, I went with 10. So we'll see how it is. I may or may not come back to you with a short video saying I need more, but we'll see what happens. Be right back. Okay, so I'm back for round 2 or phase 2, whatever you want to call it. So I lied earlier. I didn't buy 10 bags. I bought 12 bags. So I had 12 bags, and then which is 12 cubic feet, and then a half cubic foot of manure. And what I did is I put 6 bags in of the soil, and then a layer of, or a quarter of the cubic foot of the manure, and spread that on top. Then I came back with 6 more bags of soil, and then the manure finally on top. But this is what I have right now. So the beds also came with this crisscross that came out real handy for this. As you can see, they're real easy to put together, but it's also real easy for them to just come apart. So that's what I have for now. I think I'm going to wait to talk to James and see about planting, getting the planting done probably tomorrow early morning. So we'll take a look and see, and I'll be back for phase 3. Hey everybody, so I'm out here taking a look at my garden at night. I just put in these solar lamps. Not gonna bring any heat, but I just wanted to put it out there so it looked cool. So let me step back so you can see what I'm talking about. So this is my first garden bed, and I got onions in this first row, and then I got beets going in the second, beets in the third, and then I got Brussels sprouts going in the fourth. So we'll see how it turns out. And there you have it. Thanks a lot, Farmer Jav. You'll be seeing a lot more of Farmer Jav from this point through the rest of the year. It turns out from the research that I've been doing that Texas, and specifically this part of Texas, is pretty good. It's growing seasons. There's different overlapping seasons of different types of fruits or vegetables, but the overall growing season is about 9 months. So I'll be able to grow different things. I'm still thinking about a very unique growth, but I want to see a type of growth of gourd, but I'll get into that much later. I want to put these down. These are supposed to be some of the simplest ones for anyone to grow, and we'll see if I'm going to be able to grow anything or not. So that nighttime one, I that morning, that was yesterday morning, Saturday the 20th. I had James go out there to supervise me, and he was gracious enough to give me these little, I guess, onion starter bulbs. I don't know what the official term is. I'm gonna call them starter bulbs. Little tiny little bulbs, little tiny onion almost type of thing with a little sprout on top. And you're supposed to plant it, push it into the soil where the sprout that's coming up is facing up, because that's up. So those are pretty. They don't need a lot of space. You only have to go about half inch into the soil. So we did 4 of them per square, and so there's 16. So, and we'll see how what I get out of them. And then, as you saw, rows 2 and 3 are golden beets. Golden beets, yes, beets actually have more than one color. And these are golden beets. Both Rob and I like these, and the Pavlovskis like them as well. And so I'm going to try my hand at growing those. Now, those require a little bit more space. So what I did was, in the square itself, I put 2 across from each other in each spot. So that should be 8 per row, and we're doing 2 rows. So I'm hoping to get, I want to be honest with you guys. I've never done this before. If you have any tips and trips, please send them my way. So I'm hoping to get at least 70%. I still think that's ambitious for me. Like I said, I've never done this before, but I'm hoping to get 70% ROI on my seeds and all that sort of thing. Um, if there's 16 of them, I'm hoping to get about 11. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, uh, and then on the Brussels sprouts said they require a lot more space than the beets and definitely more than the onions. So I put a couple of seeds about a half inch to 3/4 of an inch deep in the soil, just a couple per square, like dead center of the square, to make sure that we gave it plenty of space. Now, I am new, like I said, so the seeds for the Brussels sprouts were like they look like little tiny pellets of dirt. They're the seeds. So you get a bag of, you buy a little package of seed, and the package of seeds like $3, and there's like a couple hundred in there easily. But and they're little tiny little things. So I was almost afraid that I would grab them and crush them, because you know how you grab little things and they're like little balls, and you just want to be like, hey, let me see what that is, and you crush it. So I had to be real careful. I got James to do it for me, but I tried them out afterwards. So there's a lot of seeds in that package. It's very interesting, um, and I really wonder if a certain percentage of those seeds are not viable. So you have that working against you. So I'm expecting 70% of what I planted, but I don't know the percentage of how viable those seeds are. So if only 50 of them are actually gonna grow, and I'm expecting 70%, you guys can do the math and realize that it might be a much lower turnout. So plus, I'm then would be fighting the varmints. There are a lot of squirrels in my area. I will be building a frame around the boxes, and so we'll see how that works in my war against the squirrels. So next week I'll probably be on again. Our farmer Jav will be on again with the fruits. So I'm gonna try something a little bit different. I don't want to say what they are, but I will be out there again. Watering is every 2 to 3 days. Also, I went to a very cool heirloom seeds site, and they had some really cool stuff. So I'm getting it all next week. That's for the fruits. They also have some really cool heirloom fruits and vegetables that you may not be used to seeing because they're not sold in the stores. It's something that only farmers and little growers like myself and everything still want to do, or at least that they don't sell in large grocery stores in the United States, because it's probably not worth their time and effort. But for me, I think it would be worth it. I was just talking to my sister, and they have something called atomic tomatoes. I didn't get any this time, but they're about that big and about that round, and they are mainly purple, but with shoots of orange and red through there, almost like an abstract painting. It was very cool. I didn't get any of those because I'm not a big fan of tomatoes myself, but if all things go well and I start actually growing things well, I might try my hand at growing some of those, because I just think they would be really cool. So all right, so that's the gardening for now. If anybody has any tips or tricks on how to garden in the Cedar Park, Austin area, please feel free to shoot me a comment on the thread, shoot me a direct message. If you haven't already, please add me to your YouTube subscription. I am on YouTube, Javier In The Air. You can just follow me on that, and you'll get notifications every time I get a podcast up and running, which is about every Sunday. So, next up, I got to talk to a very interesting individual, a nice young lady by the name of Elisa, and she has a hair salon in the I want to say Cedar Park, or probably Austin Cedar Park area. Well, she'll tell you the address on it, but it's real close to here. I consider it Ost Park, because it's Austin Cedar Park. It's really right there. I'm sure it's probably still Austin. Um, and so I got a chance to interview her, talk to her about business, talk to her about her particular business, and actually what is threading. I've heard threading countless times throughout my life, and I still was not sure what that was. So she clears that up for me. Hopefully, clears that up for some of you out there who were also wondering what that was about. So let's go to the interview. Take it away, interview Hav. Hey, podcast Hav. Thanks, hey everybody. This is interview Hav here for another great interview. I am here with Alyssa, and did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay, Alyssa, I was trying to make sure I got it right before I started. With Alyssa, we are here to talk about her salon and a little bit about herself. So, Alyssa, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we'll go from there.
Cool. So my name is Elisa. I am the owner of Salon Vibe. We are located on Research and Devolve in North Austin. And we are coming up to our third year of being open this July.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so on Research and Duval, so and I see you're wearing a mask. So tell me a little bit about currently your safety precautions due to COVID.
Yeah, so even before COVID, we have always had to, by law, follow sanitation guidelines. So we've been doing this in order to hold our license. Actually, the masks are really the only thing new, and the social distancing. And we are still requiring masks be worn in the salon just to be on the safer side.
That's good.
So it is mandatory to come in here, but we sanitize everything in between each client's from the handles on the chairs, the desktop, the shampoo bowls, all implements, are sanitized on the regular. So
excellent. Okay, so tell me a little bit about how you how you started out, how you got into the business in the first place.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of funny because when I grew up, my mom, makeup wasn't even a thing that really my mom did. She was always like very natural. So I did not know about highlights or brow waxing or any of that. So it's pretty funny that I got in the beauty industry, but I always did my friends' hair and makeup and braided, the neighborhood, and I've just always had that interest in it. And so, yeah, I met a girl that worked at a beauty school here in Austin, and we started talking beauty, and she was like, come join, come do the program. And that's really how it began. So I just learned the professional way to do it, but I've pretty much been doing it since, I was a child.
How long have you been doing this? And how long have you been doing this?
Yeah, so I mean, I have had my license, for a little over 10 years, but I've just always done it. I just got certified, finally about 10 years ago.
Okay, cool. And it sounds like you're from Austin.
No, so I'm from Indiana, and I moved here about 15 years ago.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Northwest Indiana.
Yeah. So can I ask you what brought you here? I'm always interested in what brings people here, because if they're not coming from California, then I'm always interested in where they're coming from. So.
Yeah. Well, my brother moved here before I did, so it was actually him, convincing me to move to Austin, and I finally did it. So, yep.
Nice, excellent. So do a quick pan of your area so you can show us what's going on there. I'd like to see more.
Okay, cool. I'll start kind of by the front door here.
Sure,
so this is
do us a tour. That'd be great.
Yeah, little seating. We really still, again, with COVID, we have to practice social distancing. So we can allow 2 people to sit only in here at this time, but we do ask that people wait in their cars until we are ready for them to come in, so that area isn't crowded. But yeah, so we have the seating area over here, a little bit of retail here. We have 6 stations, so we're a smaller salon. Here, shampoo area back here.
Nice. I see you like neon.
Well, you got to have the sign. The girls, they like the Instagram photos. So the neon signs are
nice.
Appreciated. Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, so you said you've been there 3 years now, right? So where were you before, or is this like your first like built out area type thing?
Yeah, so I actually started at a salon. I started at Ulta and I worked there at the beginning of my career. And then after about a year and a half, I went independent. So I was just in a salon suite by myself, um, for quite some time until I opened this, which in July will be 3 years ago. So this is my first business that I own with employees. What I was doing before was just myself.
Right.
So I was just independent. Yeah. So
Very cool. So I know with this with the onset of the virus and everything, a lot of people have started doing their own thing and trying to start their own businesses and make a little money rather than well, or maybe they couldn't go back to their office and they couldn't work, so they started to try to find different things. So what would you say is one of the hardest things you did starting your own business? Let's go from the business where you started having employees. So that way, in case other people, I think maybe went trying to do the same thing. So what was the biggest hurdles that you came across?
so I the biggest hurdle for sure was thinking that it would be this easy. Um,
Okay.
I just had an idea in my mind, and this was going to be what it was. The moment that the doors opened and we were having new clients to the salon, and I had new stylists that still needed some training, I panicked and I was like, I just stop everything. No employees, everybody's done. I gotta think this through because the work wasn't good enough for them to service clients. And I had not thought that through because I had been in the industry really working in a room by myself for so long that I was just used to my work. And I knew what my clients uh, liked, and I didn't think about how anyone else's work was and what it was like when I had first started. I had been, I had improved over time. So I forgot what it was like at the beginning of being a cosmetologist. So that was definitely my biggest hurdle. So I stopped and I had to assess, and I was recommended to take like a class to have a foundation to bring in new stylists, train them properly, and then allow them to take on new clients. So that was a huge help
Yeah,
to get me
yeah.
started. But that was for sure the scariest thing and the biggest hurdle by far.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great. Well, now was that class like something that was offered like at ACC, or was it like some kind of community ed type class, or what?
So it's like a consultant class. It's um, I mean, I'll tell you the name of it. It's called the Summit Program, and it is a system for salons. So no, it's
Okay.
not at a college or anything like that. It is strictly for salons and
Uh-huh.
how to start a business and how to start from the beginning of someone just getting out of cosmetology school to someone opening their own salon.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah.
So far then, what would you say is the easiest thing to owning a business then?
Um, the easiest thing.
I know, and maybe there's not one. I don't know. I don't
I
have
don't know. Yeah.
the
The easiest thing. I mean, it's because I'm in the beauty industry. We have like, I think one of the best careers. Like our career is just very fulfilling
Mhm.
because we're making people feel better. Like you are happier when you leave here. You feel better. So we are. It's enjoyable. It's every day is really a good day because we all love what we do. We get to, like I said, make people feel good. Even through the pandemic, when people have come in with their masks and this is their first outing, and
Right.
7 months or 8 months, whatever it is, like if we can make them feel good, and every day for us is a new day because we have new clients in our chair, and
Right.
it's rewarding. We're not at home on a computer alone, confined to our house. We're able
Right.
to
Right.
contribute to people's happiness. So it
Sure.
is a lot of
Sure.
fun. Yeah.
No, that's great. So I guess you could say that one of the things that people should do when they're looking into a business is something that they're passionate about, or that totally that makes their day, like what you're talking about, what you did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. Well, and I want to let our viewers know that, by the way, this is not one of Alyssa's jobs. This is me at home. We've talked about it on my show before. I just take clippers to it because it just grows horribly. And people who know me know Javier's hair is like a chia pet. It just grows all over. It's weird. So anyway, I want to let the viewers know before they say, "Well, look at that guy." It's not. This is not one of her jobs. So I was looking at your website, and
Yeah.
I saw, and it's always been bothering me for years, and I've always felt stupid to ask people, but now I have a professional, so now I can ask you. Um, Threading.
Oh, threading.
What the heck is threading, and how do you do it? Like, I picture, tell me if I'm wrong, I'm pictured like sewing thread and like doing something with it. Now I know there's like it's for eyebrows, but I don't know how that works. So walk me through that.
So threading. Okay. So I personally don't do threading. It is a very interesting process, but it's basically like pulling out each individual hair quicker than and you would not thread your hair on your head, by the way. That would be very painful. So you're only threading your face. So you will thread around your eyebrows, like instead of waxing. Some people prefer threading instead of waxing. They might break out, from the wax. Some people break out from threading, but it's just the string is pulled in a way that it kind of pinches all those hairs and like plucks a bunch of them at the same time instead of having to do one hair at a time with tweezers.
Okay, and is it less painful, or is it just another way to remove hair?
No, I don't think so at all. Like it's it can be a little it can be a little painful. Make your eyes water a little bit, but depends on your pain tolerance.
Yeah. I mean, just the waxing part alone. I mean, we won't even go. We'll just talk about face waxing. We won't talk about the other
Yeah.
one because that's a whole nother adventure I don't even want to get into right now. But I could just see, like, I know my mother tried years when I was like, I don't know, 12, 13 years old to get rid of the unibrow on me by putting the wax on there. And never again. Just never going to put wax on my face again. Just never gonna have it. And I heard about the threading countless times over the years, but I couldn't figure out exactly what they were doing. So that gives me at least a good enough idea that I'm gonna say no to threading as well. So I'm never gonna do that either. So
I have to say that the thicker your hair is, the more dense your hair is, probably the more painful the threading would be.
I'm sure.
I wouldn't recommend it on super thick.
And I'm never going bald. I'm 50 years old. This hair is as thick as it was the day I was born. This is not going away ever. So
and that's a good problem to have.
It is. It's a great problem to have. But when it comes to threading or waxing, I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. Okay, so let's see. What else? What are some of the services that you offer then? You said that you don't do the threading, but I'm sure I think other people in your salon do, right? Because I think it's on your website.
Yeah. So I mean, we do not have a spa, so we don't do any skin care, but we pretty much do everything else. So we do men, women, children. We do cuts, color, waxing, facial waxing. So I mean, we pretty much take care of everything besides the skin. We don't have a spa here.
Okay. Now the color. Were you the one that did the purple on Zaida's hair?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's nice. When she brings in that color, because by the way, I don't know if our viewers know. I'm sure they do. Zaida loves purple. Loves it. more than I do, and I have two purple front doors, and she still beats me when it comes to purple. And so when she puts the purple in there, that's where we got to talking about you in the first place. Was that she was talking about how she enjoyed going and getting the color in her hair, and it was driving her nuts during COVID because she really didn't want to. I mean, well, it's still COVID, but like in the early beginnings, before she had the shots, she was really concerned about going anywhere. And so I was part of her COVID bubble because, like I said, I was two doors down. So we were
Yes.
able to play dominoes and play games and everything. Still try to keep distance like the first 4 or 5 months, but it was killing her that she wasn't able to get color into her hair again. So now she's
Yeah.
happy. So, yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you say a person comes in and they're not sure what they want. They know they want to go with you, and they have hair, so that's two good things right there. Do you talk them through? Do you have style books? I remember when I was young and I'd have to go with my mom and my sisters that they would have like books for them to look at with like magazines that had the hair and stuff like that. So I mean, is that something that you try to do an assessment? Do you try to just talk them down from I want to shave my head? Do you I mean like what do you do there?
So I personally prefer that there's a little bit of inspiration. So that does happen where, someone has no idea what they want. And no, we don't have lookbooks because there's Pinterest and that is our communication connector.
There you
So
go. There you go.
we just scroll through pictures. Like, what are you feeling? Do you think you might want to keep the lanes? Do you think you want light hair, dark hair, purple hair? And so we can look at pictures together until the client feels like, you know what, yeah, like I really like that. That's what I want to try. So now I do have some people that, yeah, they're like, just do whatever. I'm good with whatever. So I still personally prefer to have a little bit of incentive. So I'm sure that they'll like it. But
Right.
yeah, Pinterest is definitely what we use for communication in the salon nowadays.
Excellent. Excellent. I'm looking at your site here, and you also do weddings. Talk to me a little bit about that, so our viewers know what that means.
Yeah. I that was something that just happened accidentally in my career that I never I didn't plan on that. And I got asked to do a gig one time and just built a following after that, and I love it. Not every stylist is comfortable in that environment, but I do love
Sure.
it. So we do offer on-site services for weddings as well. We'll go to the venue and bring a team out there and take care of everyone, hair and makeup. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Okay, so that
Yeah.
to let people know, our viewing audience know that you do that sort of thing, because I know a lot of people won't do that. I know sometimes it's tough for them to find one, much less a team, go out there. They have to go to the salon that they want to go to, and then like don't move, don't touch, don't do anything until they can
Yeah.
get the wedding dress on, or their dress is on, and then it can still cause issues. But no, that's awesome. That's great to hear. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. We went through the business and we talked about that. What would so you're planning on staying at that location? Are you how's everything going with the COVID? Have you had to do anything? We talked about the safety measures and all that, but how has that changed your business the way that you were running it prior to COVID?
Well, it's been interesting. And it's hard really to gauge it because we had really only been open uh, a year and a half, before
Right.
COVID hit. So um, to base this business on like last year's numbers and everything, it's been so hard to gauge it.
Yeah.
So the business would definitely it would come in waves, so if COVID cases were high, people would cancel. If it wasn't really talked about much in the news, more people would start feeling comfortable to come out. So we would always see the changes on the schedule depending on what was happening on the news. Fortunately, I felt very blessed that our salon has been successful during all of this.
Great.
like I said, we've had a couple dips that were, you know, like we would get a little nervous for, you know, a couple weeks because it slowed down. I was like, oh my God, is this it? But we've really like stayed strong, again, making everyone feel comfortable that we are following like all the safety precautions. You know, it has like really helped us out.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, well, let's see. I think I have three. There's three questions left. You've made it this far. There's three questions left. One of them, and this one I just popped into my head. Do you play music in the background while you're doing the the haircuts and everything? And what type of music do you like to play?
So yeah, we have to have music because we're artists, and it's just like the silence will
Totally,
just
totally.
it's too much.
Yeah, totally get it.
So we kind of switch it up. My favorite station is like this chill lounger station. So it's just kind of like a mellow, chill vibe. I like that one, but we'll also switch it up and do like some Chris Stapleton or Justin Timberlake, you know, type of, you know, depending on the mood. So the weekends seem to be a little more hip hoppy, but we try to keep it like a neutral vibe so everyone is comfortable.
Excellent, excellent. So you're saying no rap music to the point where people are like, oh my God. I mean,
yeah, we have to tone it down.
Yeah.
I mean, because
um,
we do have children in here sometimes, or just someone that just doesn't, you know, like that style. So we always have it like a neutral, not too rappy.
I'm a big fan of the 80s myself, growing up in the 70s and 80s. So it's always been fantastic. So that's the music I listen to, which I get a good beat off of the grocery stores now. I guess they're oldies now. 80s are oldies music. So
yeah, I know.
and
It's
I'm like,
horrible.
really? But yet they play it. So then it's all. I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. Okay, so we got music down. Now we're gonna switch to movies. So two of the questions I like to ask everybody before I sign off with them is what are some of your favorite all time movies? You can name two, three, one, whatever you're like. This is my go to movies. I can watch them again and again till the end of time.
Okay, so I have to be honest with you. I am probably the worst movie partner that you will ever meet in your life because
Really?
I have, you know, those dolls that like the baby dolls that like when you lay them down, their eyes close.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? That is literally what happens to me when I sit still. So like, from the moment that I wake up, I am like just going, like what needs to be done, like go. And sitting still, my brain associates that with sleep. So I have stayed awake through very few movies. I'm like, I frustrate everyone that has invited me to watch a movie with them. But
so you don't know the ending to a lot of movies. So that's like good to know. That's good to know.
So if I'm being very honest, like I couldn't even tell you what is on Netflix or what movies. I don't even know what's current because I don't do it to myself. I won't make it through the movie. But I would say like 300. That was like definitely one of my faves.
Okay.
I stayed up for that. Maybe because of Leonidas, I don't know, but
probably
300 and The Usual Suspects. I remember that. Like that was really good.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah. So I would say like those are movies that I remember that were like, oh my gosh, they were so good.
Okay.
Superbad is pretty funny. I like that too. Like that was good.
Okay, so that's gonna make trouble for the last question. The last question that I ask everyone is, what's the movie that you like? Maybe you didn't finish it, but you still liked it. That people that know you would be surprised that you actually like.
Can I get a pass?
Okay. Well, can we meet some of your crew before I go? Do they want to be on?
Yeah.
Say hello to them. And then you can ask them give me one of their favorite movies.
Okay, awesome. So I'll introduce you to Jillian here. This is Jillian. Hi.
Hello.
Go ahead and ask away.
All right. So give me one of your favorite all-time movies.
Oh, favorite all-time movie would be True Romance. Have you heard of it?
Which one?
True Romance?
Yes, I have heard True Romance.
Okay. It's not as sappy as it sounds. It's written by Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. In fact, I just went. My last podcast actually showed a little bit of us going to see Pulp Fiction at the Movie House and Eatery.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we rented out the theater and we watched Pulp Fiction. Everybody that was with us, a couple people dressed up, and we went and saw Pulp Fiction. So we all, Quentin Tarantino's good.
Very cool. Yeah, he's got great films.
Yes. Well, that's great. It was good to meet you. I'll let you go back to work.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
A lot of our staff has left for the day.
Okay.
I have one girl that's in the back, and she'll be out here shortly, and I'll introduce you to Kim.
Sure. So how late do you stay open?
So, again, we're passionate about what we do. So
Right.
we have a tendency to, if we get caught up in a project, we stay. So I don't really have our salon hours are, I believe we have them listed until 7, but I don't know if we ever get out of here at 7.
And what time do you come in the morning?
Anywhere between 8 o'clock to 10, 9, 10.
Wow, nice. Very
Again, it
dedicated.
depends on the stylist, because we will come in, depending on what the service, how many hours the service is needed to complete. If we want, we'll just extend our hours. We all do it. It's just part of the industry.
Sure. No, I mean, that's great. I mean, it shows dedication too, so that's good. I think someone just came in. There
So
she
this is our stylist, Kim.
Hello, Kim. So I want to know what would you say is either the movie or one of the movies that you love and you can always watch?
Tricky question because I am a huge fan of Disney, not gonna lie. So I've always grown up with Disney. It's like my childhood classics. So it's really hard for me to pick which one. I guess my favorite movie from I think it's just more from Pixar. It's called Monster Inc. I don't know why. It's been my obsession with movie because it always gives me the heartwarming feeling that just because we look different does not mean you treat others differently, because it speaks a lot in the movie how monsters were afraid of humans and then the humans are afraid of monsters, but in reality people. So I feel with being with two different kind of being anybody in general, no matter if you're different color or skin, whatever your different type of species or whatever it is, we can get along.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all. I mean, that's really what I love about the movie.
I think that's one of the most impressive answers I got. Usually they just give me one. They just give me the movie and they're like, yeah, that's it. But no, I appreciate that. That was really good. I like that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, so we got everyone there, so that's great. All right, Alyssa, I think we're gonna call it for now. I appreciate you spending time being interviewed today. And
Thank
like I
you so
said,
much for
we'll
having
be
us.
back. I will have this out for you, and for everybody watching, this is a Salon Vibe. I was here with Alyssa and Kim there too. And if you have any hair needs, not like this nonsense going on, but if other people have good hair that needs to get cut, go visit them, say hello, tell them Javier sent you, and I want to thank Zaida for making this connection here so that we can have you on today. So y'all have a good evening, and I'm gonna send it back to Podcast Hub. Take it away. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for having us. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, well, that was Interview Hub with Alyssa out there at Salon Vibe. I want to thank her and her crew for letting me interject myself into her salon, and I have a fantastic interview. We learn a little something every time, don't we, when we interview people? At least I know I do. And some great responses on the movies. I liked it. I thought it was great. So if you need some hair, you need your hair done, you need some coloring, you're having a wedding, or you know someone who has a wedding in the area, and they want to have a salon team go out and do the makeup and hair for them, visit Salon Vibe, give them a call, go to their website. I'll add the website to the end of the podcast here. And so tell them Javier sent you. It's not gonna get you anything, just like everywhere else. But it's fun to see if they get to hear that someone is actually watching my podcast. I know I would enjoy it. So definitely, if you have any, if you want any more information, go to their website. If you need to direct message me, go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and get you connected with her and her team, and then away they go and they can start doing what you want. So once again, I apologize to Alyssa for not getting out there and getting my hair done at her place. As you can tell, things are a little crazy today, but they've been a little crazy since this time last year when it comes to my hair. So okay, so now we're towards the end of the show, and I want to bring in, as we always do, a little bit of beer. So on Monday, which was the 15th, yes, the 15th, um, Robert and I, my brother Robert, everybody knows him by now, did a Belgian beer tasting. Mort Subite was nice enough to offer this Belgian beer tasting, and so we were on a Zoom call with Anthony from Mort Subite, and about I think four other groups were on there, and we got to try some of the Belgian beer that they offer at Mort Subite. I was gonna try to get out there, but I didn't get a chance to make it this weekend. Maybe I'll go out there next weekend or on the week or something and try to just interview Anthony and talk a little bit about the show. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to get to the video. Plus, I would have to ask for permission anyway, so I didn't get a chance to do any of that before I started working on this podcast, so maybe on the next podcast. But there were some really good beers, Belgian beers. One of them was high in the ABV, which is what Rob and I love. And then some of them were not, but they were still fairly interesting and they were good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you the three beers. We only had three beers, and that was probably good because I know a couple of people were getting a little loopy. Not Rob and I, of course, because of the amount of high ABV beer that we normally partake in, but it was a good little thing. I'd like the tasting. I might even try to maybe do something like that to bring back tastings to Casa de Hav. I don't know if I've mentioned it before. I'm sure I have. I used to do tastings here at my house pre-COVID. I did almost 4 years of tastings where every month we did something, and sometimes there would only be one or two people that showed up, and then sometimes I would have like a full house, like 25, 28 people here, depending on what we loved. And it was either a type of beer, a type of alcohol, or a type of wine. And so we were pretty much, I want to say we ran the gamut of beer, alcohol, and wine, but we probably didn't. But we hit a vast number of different types and brands and flavors and all that sort of nonsense. So we'll probably do that another time. Hopefully this year I can get a tasting and actually film it, and you can see some of the party and happiness that we go on here. So Belgian beer tasting, Mort Subite. I'm going to turn over to the images that I have. I didn't get a chance to take any video because we were in the Zoom meeting and I didn't get a chance to record it. Anthony was recording it. So I'm going to go ahead and just put out the three beers that I have, and then we'll come back and we'll wrap up, and that'll be it, the show. So let's go to the beer. Okay, so here we are with a this is the first one, Perrot. It is a 10.5 ABV. You notice that it gets a really good head on there, which is part of what makes it part of the beer itself. So I've been told. It was really good. And kept up really good. So this is it, Perrot Belgian Ale, 10.5 ABV. Anno 1784 is the year that the brewery started, and they're very proud of that fact. It turned out to be really good, really smooth. Had a lot of spices, taste to it. Turned out to be fantastic. So this is the Zot. And I think it's Bruges Zot, if I remember correctly. This was pretty good. I believe it was a 4 or 5 ABV, and it wasn't as good as the first one, but it was pretty good. Fun little fact: Bruges Zot means like jester, And back in the day in Bruges, the people used to be called clowns or jesters, something like that. So turned out to be a fun little fact. Plus, it was a good little beer to have. I think it would be a good starter if you want to start out the day with something like this. The last one was a bitter Belgian ale. And of course, you see their XX bitter. Turned out to be a really good beer. I would probably place this as number three. Um, Overall, it was a good taste to it. It had a good head on it. And it was just something that was really good to have that I've never had before. And this is me talking about I already did 100 days of beer, but yet I still hadn't tried any of these three, which goes to show you that there's a lot of fun to be had out there drinking wise. So turned out to be a really great time. Hey, so there you have it. Another show being put to bed. I want to thank everyone who was able to make it. Gardening Jav, Alyssa out at Salon Vibe. Thank you for the interview. Thank you for showing us your salon. Again, once again, if you heard me before, if you need somewhere to go and you want to get your hair done, or you have a wedding that you need to do, look into Salon Vibe. They do great work. So also want to thank Mort Subite for the Belgian tasting, what you just saw a little taste of. We actually were on for about an hour and a half, and yeah, about an hour and a half. Turned out to be really great. If I can get some of that video, I sure will. If you have a chance, go downtown Austin for Mort Subite. I call it downtown. I think it's off of 5th or 6th or something like that. But all that to me is downtown. So if you get a chance, go down there, see Anthony, get your Belgian beer drink on. He will help you. We talk about in his video about how it's sometimes great to go out there during off times when it's slow for them. Then you can talk to them and say, you know what, I haven't had any Belgian beer before, or I'm not too familiar with Belgian ale. What can let's work a flight, or let's start some beers, and you can tell me which ones which ones you recommend. I recommend doing that, talking to the bartenders of unique places like Mort Subite, because then you have an opportunity to not only get to know them, make a new friend, but you also get to they will give you their knowledge, which is always vast and probably way better than yours when it comes to their particular beers that they sell there. So go out there, say hi to Anthony and his crew, and get your Belgian beer drink on. So we are done for this episode of Javier in the Air. I want to thank everybody for watching. I hope you've been enjoying the past season and a bit that I've done here. If there's a topic that you would like to speak on, please send it to me and let me know. Direct message, email, carrier pigeon, smoke signals, whatever works for you, however you can get a hold of me. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Javier in the Air, where you can see some of the past season's shows. Everything is up and on there. Any topic that you think I should talk about, please let me know, and I can do that. If you have a business that you want to promote, whether you're in the Austin Cedar Park area or not, and you watch the show, but you want to talk about your business and you're somewhere else in the country, by all means, please just contact me, and I will definitely interview you. And then you can share my link to just about everyone so that they can see more about you and your business. So also, I'm looking for pickleball enthusiasts. I just got this suggestion from my sister Norma. If anybody out there in the Cedar Park area plays pickleball, knows the rules, knows how to play it, and is looking to take on someone like myself to treat me to showing how to play pickleball and how to do it, please let me know, and I can get that into the podcast, because it turns out pickleball is getting real crazy out there, from what I understand, from what Norma told me, and from other people that have been talking to me a little bit about pickleball. And I'm not really sure what it is, but I'd like to try it out. Why not? I mean, I'm up for anything, and plus it'll get me out out in the wild again, and that's something that I'm looking forward to. So everybody have a good week. Look forward to it, and I will talk to you again next week, and we'll have an update on Farmer Hobbs' garden, and hopefully the fruit will be in by there so he can start planting the fruit seeds. So have a good week, and I will talk to you again next week.